Energy Support Report, October 2020 version. It's your girl Chantel, and I'm coming with all of the hot tea for the month of October when it comes to our astrological transits, the crystal energy of the month, the oil of the month, our message of the month, and the mantras that we will be using all month long to ground us into the energies coming our way direct from source straight to us to help us expand all month long. October is notoriously a month where we can see the veil thinning out between realms, between worlds, spirit world, physical world, where contact with the dead and spirits, those who have passed on the other side, becomes a lot more accessible to us. As we get closer to the 31st, All Hallows Eve, we can see this energy become louder, bigger, stronger. It happens every year. And as we've been progressing through the years of our ascension in the past decade, the veil has been thinning year by year by year. So in this month of October, in the good year of 2020, this veil is thin AF, guys. Super, super duper thin. And we can expect a lot of like spooky happenings to really hit home with us. So I feel like I'm dressed appropriately for the energy of this month to bring it in. I'm embracing the witchness. I'm embracing the witch side. Let's all embrace our inner witch and let's get to work in the deeper magic that brings the month of October to us. And this month is full. It's full of some interesting energies. So we're gonna start right off with October 1st, beginning of the month. We have our full moon. This is a full moon in Aries, guys. Super excited about this. Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. So the full moon in Aries is the beginning of the end, really, because the full moon is asking us to release, to surrender, to completely let go and move forward without the baggage. Drop it where it is. We're not taking it with us. And Aries starts all that shit. It marks the beginning of it. So it's the beginning of the end. This is the end of the bullshit. Leave it where it is. We're moving through this, okay? It's a really big celebratory release, it should feel like. I'm not gonna take this shit with me anymore. Aries can be selfish, can be self-motivated, and this is not necessarily a bad thing. This can be a very good thing if you have been giving out more than you should of yourself to others. Now's the time where we can pack it all in for ourselves and go, you know what? No, me first right now. Right now, me first. I need to feel good. Full moon in Aries, bathe in that light, bathe in that energy. Get back to you. What brings you happiness? What brings out that inner child, right? Aries, child of the zodiac. What brings out that inner child part of you? Makes you just laugh and smile ear to ear and brings out pure, unadulterated joy. Chase that down. Go chase that little white rabbit and have fun with it. This full moon in Aries is asking you to just do that. Let all that shit go. Enjoy yourself a little bit. Embrace the inner you and release all the extra bullshit. We don't need it here. October 2nd, Venus moves into Virgo. This is going to be really nice. Venus in Virgo is all about acts of service. That's the love language for Venus in Virgo. What can I do for you? How can I show you through things that I can accomplish for you how much I love you? So Venus in Virgo is really bringing that energy to our front door where we can show others how we love them through our actions, how we can expect others to show us how they love through their actions. And then of course, as I always say, how we can show ourselves, how we love us through our actions. So this is on the heels, right off of the hot heels of the full moon in Aries, where we're asked to embrace the inner child. Venus in Virgo is like, now show up for you. How does that look for you? How can you service yourself? How can you give in to the nurturing side by giving, literally giving to yourself through acts of service that show up as love? This also means putting in some boundaries, right? Virgo loves boundaries. Virgo's very big on this is my space, this is your space. So make sure that those are really healthy, established boundaries, and then you can feel safe in the space that you've created to do whatever it is you want to do. It's a really nice transit. Get into it. Virgo Venus is underrated, but it is an absolute top tier Venus placement. And when it transits in here, we can feel all of the benefits of that. On October 4th, Pluto goes direct in the sign of Capricorn. All of our little retrograde babies are coming out and they are turning direct one by one. Retrograde season is waning. We are in the home stretch, guys. We have gone through the summer of lessons and reflection, and we are now moving forward. Things can start to feel like we're moving forward again. Not completely, because we still have that Mars and Aries retrograde we're contending with until November, but all the planets that were in retrograde beforehand, beginning of the summer, are starting to now move out of that, and we can feel a little bit of release coming through. So Pluto going direct in the sign of Capricorn means all those things that we've hidden, that Pluto and Capricorn have asked both of us respectively, asked us to pull up from the recesses of our souls, of our shadows, of our past, and look at it and what we can learn from it, what we can do to start working through these things. And I think a lot of us can attest that we've dealt with this summer, things that we have thought that we took care of or thought that we would never have to look at again or never have to deal with again, kind of reared their ugly head, right? Kind of coming around hi, remember me? You never dealt with me. We need to hash this out. We need to have a little chit chat and get this done. Complete this loop, this cycle that you've created way back when. Now's the time for us to take a look at, read over the fine print, and make sure we're in agreement that yes, this is how we're going to move forward in a healthier way. Pluto and Capricorn was just that. So having this go direct means that we can see the things that we've applied to the hidden truths, to the things that were lurking deep in our shadows, in our psyche, in our past. We didn't want to take a look at, we've been ignoring, we've been shoving down below, have come up and asked how we're learning from this. Have we learned from it? What have we learned from it? Let's share with the world, shall we? As we come out of this cocoon, this retrograde cocoon, let's share with the world how we've evolved through this transit. So be proud of the work and the things that you've accomplished during these harder times, because this is when you can show off your growth. You can come out of the cave, you can come out of hiding, you can come out and spread your wings and say, hey, look, I have changed. I have done so much work and I feel good and I'm coming out a new person. Let me reintroduce myself to you. This is a great time to do that. On October 12th, Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn will sextile Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So we talked about this before, but Jupiter in Capricorn is really achievement of our dreams, of our spiritual sides, right? How we're growing through our belief systems in the things around us, but also in the systems within us, how we're expanding upon that, how we are looking at what needs to be changed, what no longer serves, and what's going to get us to the next level. Neptune in Pisces is the ultimate dreams, right? So I want $1 million and I want a home on the cliffs of Cinque Terre in Italy, and I want to be served wine by George Clooney's butler, and just the far out, far-fetched, right, big ass dreams. Neptune and Pisces really brings all those in, allowing you to just experience what could be if there were no restrictions, if there was no rules, if you could have whatever you wanted, what would you want? That's what it's really asking you to take a look at, because it's kind of showing you the visions for that. So this sextile transit is a beneficial one. They're working together to bring you a more solid, so grounding a little bit of that. Neptune and Pisces is very ungrounded. Jupiter in Capricorn is gonna ground that a little bit, like a little bit more in reality, but then also have that groundedness, have a little bit of lightness and a little bit of fun and a little bit of fantasy mixed in. A nice mix of that, a nice balance is what's needed here. So that sextile is like this cooperative energy that's gonna bring that in. So a great time period to really allow yourself to dream. Dream big, but also rooted in what is possible, but not limited by what you might be telling yourself what's possible. Does that make sense? You guys get that? It's a nice transit. Flow with it really easily. On October 13th, Mercury retrograde is coming back for more. You know she loves us and she can't stay away. She always has to visit all the time. She's like our little BFF who comes from across town and just sits and stays for like a couple of weeks and then bounces. She's back. And she's gonna go retrograde in the sign of Scorpio because Mercury is in Scorpio right now. So that means that we can see some miscommunication, obviously, but when it comes to actually communicating with the other side, right? And I said in this last month's ESR, Mercury in Scorpio is really gonna lend to more of an open dialogue between cross the veil into other realms, the spirit world, right? Now with the retrograde, we can have some misfires happening in here. So double check your intuition, how you feel about things when you're receiving messages, right? Because this is also a time where we can like really fuck up like the telephone game, you know, when you like mess up what you've been hearing, this is the time when that can happen. So make sure that you are checking in with yourself, right? Trusting in your own intuition, making sure that you are testing out those waters and in alignment with how it feels. Does it feel right? If it doesn't feel right, then you don't have to take it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Every time. In the physical realm, Mercury retrograding Scorpio can look a lot like fighting. The girls can be fighting during this time because Scorpio is very sharp-tongued. Mercury in the sign of Scorpio can be very harsh, can be very critical, but in a like cutting way. So not Virgo critical, but critical in like a, oh my God, you've cut me open and I'm bleeding, what the hell? So be very careful around this time with your words as it comes to how you are approaching others, especially with the Mars and Aries retrograde, that we're also under this energy. We gotta make sure that we're paying attention to how we are communicating. So really be careful with your words here. Also know that when other people are coming at you and they're like cutting you all up, that's just astrology, man. It's real. So take it with a grain of salt. They're influenced in this energy. Don't necessarily fight fire with fire here, okay? You want to douse the fire with some water. Scorpio being a water sign's perfect way to do that. Just throw some water on the fire you're getting and diffuse the situation. On October 16th, we have our new moon in Libra. Because we're under the sign of Libra, the sun is in the sign of Libra, so the new moon pulls up in the same sign. And Libra is what? Balance and harmony, collectively speaking, right? Also a lot about beauty and attention and justice and fairness, right? So the new moon brings all the new energies associated with the Libra characteristics. So we're gonna wanna tap into this the best way that we can. This is a great time to maybe consider giving people a fair hearing, a fair trial, a fair shot at things that maybe you weren't considering before, right? Especially with that Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. Re-evaluating this under the new moon in Libra allows us to maybe be a little easier, be a little more just when it comes to things. Instead of fighting fire with fire, we're going to oversee this in a very fair way, a very judicial way, and be detached, but healthily detached, right? That allows for the truth to come forward. And then from there, make decisions that are best for all parties involved, including yourself. This new moon energy is bringing that in for you so that you can move forward feeling like it's balanced, things are balanced, versus making decisions that are harsh and rash, and maybe didn't have all the information. New moon in Libra is like, let's take this all in, let's study the evidence, and let's make sure that we're coming to a good conclusion that makes the most sense and that's beneficial for everyone. So you can ask this energy to present the evidence. You can say, bring it forward, new moon in Libra, bring forward what I need to see in order to make decisions. This is a really good time and a really good ask that you can work with the lunar energy on. On October 18th, Ceres goes direct in the sign of Aquarius. Now, Ceres went retrograde a little while back. Ceres is an asteroid, not a planet, but still very impactful on our energies here. And Ceres represents the mother energy, right? The great divine mother energy. So going direct, we can feel a little bit of that release from that pressure that maybe we've been put under when it comes to nurturing, how we're receiving nurture, how we give nurture. Also relationships with our mothers. I think a lot of people could see that coming up during the summer, a lot of that energy coming up, like reevaluating relationships with their mothers, or mothers coming around, true colors maybe coming out, relationships either falling apart or being mended, right? But relationship with the mother within you and the mother outside of you was the big theme for Ceres this summer. And now it's going direct in the sign of Aquarius, which means that it is collectively going to bring a sigh of relief, and collectively like a warm hug and embrace from Ceres itself, like a mother's hug. So we can feel a lot better about where we are collectively. Does that make sense? We've been through a lot. There's been a lot of uncertainty. Ceres going direct can make us feel just even a smidge better, like just going home, getting a hug from your mom on a bad day, like that. Did it take care of the problem? Nope. Is it still gonna be there tomorrow? Yup. But for this moment, in your mom's arms, she's bringing you some hot cocoa, you're snuggling on the couch, you're watching a show together, everything is right in the world. And that's what this can feel like. Just for a little bit, hold on to those moments because those are important, they're comforting. That's the overall energy here, is this comfort energy for the collective, a collective comfort blanket, comfort hug. On October 22nd, our asteroid Vesta moves into the sign of Virgo. Vesta is known as the little light within, or the little helper. Vesta is one of service and healing and compassion and nurture. And it moves into the sign of Virgo, which is a perfect match for that energy because Virgo is also of service and healing and nurture and compassion. And these two linking up is going to just exponentially expand that energy zone that's gonna just encompass us. So this is a great time to start those give back movements or commitments that may have crossed your mind in participating in before. Like feeding the homeless, or volunteering at an animal hospital, or participating in a rally, or finally deciding to go to nursing school. I mean, whatever it is, however it shows up in your life, it doesn't have to be that dramatic, but I'm trying to paint a picture that this is what that energy is giving you a little push. Like you want to help, you want to serve. Let's do this together. Let's work together and let's get out there and let's do the good work. Let's be the light for everyone else during this time. So if you've been feeling that way for a while but not really knowing how to turn or what to do, you may find yourself being a little bit more charitable around this time, and that's a good thing. It's a good time to give of yourself. It's also a good time to receive, because that's the other end, and we always got to talk about the other side of the pendulum. When we're talking about one swing, we got to talk about the other swing. And so the other swing is receiving, so receiving service. So if you're someone who has been in need, this can also show up in a way of like outpouring of assistance, of support that you've been asking for. So really allowing that service to come in, because when you can be served, you can also then take that and then serve others, and then they can be served, and then they can serve others, and then they can be served, and so on and so on and so on. And that's really the beautiful domino effect that should happen under this energy, especially, but definitely at all times. Also, October 22nd, the sun moves into the sign of Scorpio. We're in it, guys. We're in the season of Scorpio on this day, and we can embrace it. we have had a hell of a year. A hell of a year. And Scorpio is here to bring in that transmutation, baby. If you know anything about me, you know I'm all about that transmutation. You have got to transmute that shit. You cannot keep it the same way it is. You should not accept it the way things have been brought to you. You don't have to keep it in that same shape and form. In fact, when things are brought to you that aren't right, you need to fucking transmute that. You need to turn that over and turn it into the light and send it off to source, away with you in a better form than when it came to you. This is Scorpio's bread and butter. This is where they live. So bringing in, embracing this Scorpio energy is going to be so important for us collectively to really take all this bullshit that we have been collectively gathered and dumped upon this year and start shifting it, start mutating it, start transmuting, transforming it into something better. This is the time to do it. It's the death of things and then the consequential rebirth of things. Things have got to die. We've got to leave them alone and let them die in the form that they are, because they're not the best form, so that they can rise from the ashes like the phoenix in a much grander energy and light than they came to us in. I've honestly been waiting all year for Scorpio season to hit because I know how much we're gonna need this. So take this seriously. Now's the time for you little witches to work some magic in here, get that transmutation magic going, because this is the energy that supports that work more than any other time of year. On October 27th, Mercury, still in retrograde, but now it's moving into the sign of Libra. So it was retrograding in the sign of Scorpio, it's shifting and it's gonna be retrograding in the sign of Libra now. Remember, it's going backwards, so we're moving backwards through the zodiac. So Mercury retrograding in Libra means that, again, watch our communication, but let's watch how we approach things when it comes to being fair and being just, because we're gonna be tested here. That's not fair, and I didn't deserve that, and they were wrong and I am right, and there, you could be absolutely valid in that, but just be careful in how you are committing to this energy, because once it goes direct again, you may be left with pieces that you didn't even really want broken in the first place. So just bring awareness to this energy so that you're moving through this phase in the right way. Then on the 31st, guys, it's the last day of the month and we're going out with a bang. We're going out the same way we came in, with a full moon. Yes, there are 2 full moons this month, one on the 1st, one on the 31st, bookending the entire month of October. When I tell you this month is special, it's a very special month. It's a very auspicious month for doing some deep, transformative, transmutive work. So the full moon on the 31st will fall in the sign of Taurus. We are grounding, we are rooting ourselves in our foundational beliefs and practices. We are releasing to the earth. Oh my God, what an amazing time to release things into the earth, little witches. Like, take all that work that you've been doing in October, all this fair and just and balancing, harmony, transmutation, transformative work, and let it back into the soil. Give it back to Gaia to take care of it the rest of the way. Do all your little hard work on the surface and then put it back in at the very end of the month. What a perfect way to end this month. It being the second full moon in a month, it is a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, right? So it's a very big deal. This is a very special full moon, and utilizing the energy of this full moon to do a lot of earth magic work, I think you're gonna see some really cool shit. So highly recommend getting out there and communing with Earth and the moon together. Okay, so crystal of the month. You may think, okay, I could see this a mile away. This is so basic. This is so like, duh, of course she'd pick this for October. I don't even fucking care, because the crystal of the month is black tourmaline, and if you think it's basic, joke's on you, because this is no basic bitch. And yes, she might be the obvious choice for the month of October, but with everything that I just told you, the transits that are happening and the work that has to be done, why wouldn't we want black tourmaline by our side this month? it just makes sense, guys, to have this powerhouse, grounding, protective transmutation stone with us, near us, in our work all month long. This is the one we are busting out. Get your black tourmaline out. I have my own black tourmaline necklace I'll be wearing all month long. Side note, I have a couple other pieces available for sale if you want, just hit me up. But I'm gonna be working with mine every single day of October, plus my bigger chunks. I've got quite a few around the house because black tourmaline is amazing. Like, she's no basic bitch, I'm telling you. She's also one of the best stones to use in spell casting. I don't know if you guys knew that. This is a witch's stone right here, okay? So you want to cast some spells, you get yourself some black tourmaline, because not only does she form this protective barrier around you so that you can cast your spells in peace, you're opening yourself up to energetic portals, things can come in. So you want to make sure that you can do your work in a protective space. Black tourmaline, she also grounds you so that the work that you're doing is foundationally sound, right? So that it doesn't get mixed up or lost in translation. The grounding is very important in spell work. And she's psychically shielding. So if you're having a lot of like evil eyes pointed your direction or concerns, especially with the veil thinning, guys, and Mercury retrograde in Scorpio coming up this month, we want to make sure that we are having some layers of protection around us, because we don't want any of that bad shit coming through. And you can't really stop it. You can't put a filter on what comes through when the energy is open or the veil is thin. You just get what you get. What you can do is put on some armor. Okay? There's no filter, but there's armor. And black tourmaline is that armor. So put your armor on, have your little psychic shielding protection. She also will neutralize negative energy, including EMF. So electromagnetic frequencies, she neutralizes them, zaps them right out, clearing the way, creating a pure, cleansed, safe, grounded space for you to do you. Black tourmaline also connects to the root chakra, which connects you to the earth. And we talked about the end of the month, communing with the earth and the moon together as one. So black tourmaline can really help you do that, especially when we're transmuting things and we're giving it back to the earth. We're taking all this shit and we're transforming it into another form and then releasing it back. Black tourmaline is the one for that. I'm telling you, it's perfect crystal for the month of October. Personally speaking, black tourmaline will also imbue you with confidence and power and courage, and also aligns the energy centers in your own body so that you are in full control, or as best you can be, of your own energy and how it's being directed. And if you're having a panic attack, which no one blames you for, especially in this year, but also this month with the heavier energies coming through, black tourmaline will soothe those, calm your nerves, stroke your hair, tell you you're pretty, like really, really grounding in the best way. Gentle, but powerful as fuck. Please do yourself a favor. Do not leave black tourmaline out this month. You have to work with her. She's going to do wonders for you. So our oil of the month this month is going to balance out all these energies, because we're still, even though we're moving into Scorpio at the end, we're in Libra in the beginning of the month. For the majority of October, we're in Libra season. So we're still in that harmonic balance energy that's begging us to pay attention to it. So the oil is going to really bring that balance in, and the perfect oil is Purify. It's a blend by doTERRA, and this blend has so many powerhouse oils in it that it just really does bring it back to focus of where we need to be. So in Purify, you get tea tree or melaleuca, lime, lemon, Siberian fir, citronella, and cilantro. Whew! And all of these things, all these blended oils together, make for such a refreshing smell. I feel like cleansed just breathing it in. It's like an aromatic Lysol, if that makes sense. Like not Lysol, but like Lysol for the soul, Lysol for the energy. It just scrubs all the nastiness away. It really takes all of the negative stuff, it purifies and cleanses the energies all around you. It purifies and cleanses your own energetic centers and everything in your environment. It's uplifting, it's protective, it's neutralizing, it brings clarity of mind, and it brings in the light. So when we're working with black tourmaline, a nice way to balance it out is to bring something that brings in the light, because this is very heavily transmuting. We also want to bring in the light to shine in, and these two together are a perfect pair, match made in heaven. You can anoint your black tourmaline in the Purify oil. I would highly recommend doing that so you get it all in one nice tool. Also, as always, anoint yourself. So Purify, I think, should definitely go behind the ears, because we want to keep this space clear and free, bring in that clarity, right? Clear, especially Mercury and Scorpio retrograde, we want the clear hearing. We want this area to be pure and clear so that we're not confused with what's coming in a communicative way. In fact, we can even put some on our throat to purify our own communication. I would also like this one on the back of the knees. I think it's really important to put on the back of the knees. The back of the knees on the body hold a lot of stress and trauma. So a lot of energetic buildup can happen back here. So putting the Purify, drop of Purify oil on the back of the knees can help to move that energy through, especially if we're gonna be vessels of transmutation. We should have clear paths forged in order to have this flow come in and through, right? And then we're gonna wanna put it on either our Achilles heel or the bottom of your feet as well. Again, clear path, purifying our energy zones, allowing this free flow to just go back and transmute into the earth. And the last thing I wanna add is that you should absolutely 100% diffuse this all month long. You have a diffuser, you need to pop this in. This will, I'm telling you, make you feel like you have just had a maid service come in and scrub the place clean and you haven't even lifted a finger. That's what this does. It's powerful that way. One of my favorite oil blends, actually. So I'm really excited to have this one come up for this month, because I think it's perfect for the work that we're doing, for the energy we're sitting under, and for the support that we need. All right, we're moving right along. We're going into our mantras of the month. Remember to grab your mini mala, your rosary, your altar beads, whatever your poison is, go ahead and pick it, but get whatever your tool that you're using, and you're gonna repeat each mantra per bead until you go all the way around your tool. And with a mini mala, I do it 4 times each, because 4 is a number for me that really resonates with me. That's the one that I use. I would do minimum 3 times, if not a little bit more, just more of a consistent flow of energy and dialogue going between you, your higher self, and spirit as you repeat these mantras. This mantra is by Mala Mala Love, my soul sister. I love her dearly. Please contact her for your own, or you can get a replica of this one. This is the Akashic Crystal Healing Mala, very special to me, but also can be special to you. And this month we are working with just 3 mantras. It's a little less than before, but these are the ones that Spirit really wants you to focus in. So more intention, less talky, more energy, okay? So the 3 mantras we're working with are very powerful, and they're very aligned with all the energies that we've talked about thus far in this ESR. The first mantra is, I am a vessel of pure transformation. Ugh, I just got tingles. That feels so good. I am a vessel of pure transformation. Speak it, say it, believe it, know it, earn it, walk in it, live it, love it. It's there, it's you, you're the vessel, you transform. Mantra number 2. I work to achieve a harmonious flow of energy for myself and others. I work to achieve a harmonious flow of energy for myself and others. Super important work. Mantra number 3. I am cleansed and balanced and ready to align with source energy. Listen, I am cleansed and balanced and ready to align with source energy. Do you get it? All the things coming together to put in the work that's being asked of us to dedicate ourselves to for this month of October. 3 mantras, super simple, super short, super powerful, super important that you practice these and be in practice of them all 31 days of this month. Okay, message of the month coming at ya. Almost there, guys. Almost finished this entire ESR for the month of October. And I felt like they had a lot to say this month. And as always, we're gonna be using our Soul Journey deck by SF Spirit House, Therapy in a Box. Always delivering the timely messages, the things that we need to, we not always want to hear, but we get them anyway. So I'm just gonna give the deck a little shuffle, get the cards all nice and shuffled up, and it's a big deck. So it's like not super easy to shuffle, it's like really thick. Really pretty though, look at that. Ooh. But a big deck nonetheless. And that's okay, I like big decks. You know what I'm saying? October energy already has me feeling a little, some kind of way, a little frisky, I guess. That's all right. That's all right. We're gonna embrace it. We're gonna go with the flow. Okay. Ooh, I like it. All right. So, it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a challenge card. And it says, sometimes saying things out loud solidifies them for us in a way than if we just think or write them down. Start today by telling yourself one strong, positive, I am affirmation statement while looking at yourself in the mirror. Ooh, ooh, mirror work, ooh. Hi, that's perfect for October. That's perfect for thinning veils. Mirror work, yes, yes, thank you. So we're gonna do mirror work and we're going to be looking at ourselves and we're going to be every day doing an I am statement. Now let me think, where could you get I am affirmation statements that are already laid out for you that you should already be in practice? Oh, I know, the mantras. I believe that we have at least one I am statement for this month. I am a vessel of transmutation. That's a good one to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am a vessel of transmutation. Do you know what else? One of my favorite ones that I like to say every single night when I do my candle casting work. I have a candle that I light for myself personally. I say every night when I blow it out, I'm a vessel of receiving. That'd be a really good one to do in the mirror as well. But really get creative because you're gonna wanna do one every day, so you're gonna need at least 31. You need 31 of these every day, mapped out. What are you gonna say to yourself in the mirror? What are you gonna tell yourself? What story are you writing for yourself this month? What are you creating? Who are you creating? Ooh, because that's perfect, right? Because Halloween, Frankenstein, like you're creating your own Frankenstein. You're creating, it's not a monster, but you're creating a beautiful being. You're breathing life into yourself. Who are you creating? Who is it? Tell them who they are. I am this. You are. Start this. This is so good and so perfect. It's so perfect. I love it. I love it. I love it. And that's it, guys. That's your ESR for October. Whew, I felt like that was some really good energy coming through here. I had a lot of things to share. We have a lot of homework that we have to do this month, which I think is great because it's good to have direction. It's good to know what is being asked of us so that we can actually do it instead of standing there with our thumb up our ass going, I have no idea. I have no idea what you want from me. Now we know. Spirit says, listen, ground yourself, bitch. Create yourself. Who are you? Protect yourself. The veil is thin. Make sure that you are paying homage to the transformative vessel that you are. Make sure that you are clearing everything out, leaving that baggage alone, bringing that joy in, like all of these things we have been given massive direction on. So now you know, so now you can tackle this month with complete confidence. I have confidence in you. I know you can do it. It's gonna be a good month. It's gonna be a big month, a lot of heavy energies, but we are vessels of transmutation. So it's gonna be a good month. We're gonna tap into our power, witches. I keep calling you that this month because this is the month of the witch. Let's go, let's do it. Bring it out, bring out the inner witch in you. She is dying to come out and play. So let her play, let's let her play. Thanks so much for hanging out once again. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. If you want readings from me, you can find me on my website, akashicrystalhealing.com, or visit my Patreon to support that and get readings for half off. 50% off readings on Patreon for monthly subscribers. I'd love to connect with you, but until then, I will see you back here for the next video. Bye.